deserted warehouse, razoring out the front pages of new Bibles that had arrived in Kressler General Delivery from Chicago in a cardboard box. Each page said, "Complimentary copy from the Chicago Bible Society." Henry looked at Mr. Clearwater's hands. They were clean. "What line of work you in?" "None of your goddamn business," thought Clearwater. "Car business," he said. He pulled out a pack of Luckies, shook up a couple. "Cigarette?" "Sure." Henry had bought his first ever pack of cigarettes only a few days earlier. Clearwater pushed in the cigarette lighter. "Where you get your Bibles?" "Where do I get my Bibles?" Henry looked at him. Could he know somehow? "That's kind of a long story." He did want to tell about it, this idea he got from the fiddle player at Indian Springs in Kressler. Instead of ordering Bibles and having to pay, why didn't he just go ahead and order a box from one of those places up north, or in Nashville, Tennessee, maybe, that gave away Bibles? Tell them he had a bunch of sinners to give them to, razor out the pages that said they're free, and sell them. The fiddle player said he'd had that idea when he thought about selling Bibles himself, but gave it up when his wife had twins and his mama died. Henry had wondered if he was kidding, but took the idea anyway. So Henry had been ordering a box of free Bibles about once a month, each from a different place so that nobody got suspicious. In the letter to them, he kind of hinted that he was a preacher. But nobody got hurt, and in the end, more people ended up reading the Bible, which was good, and now his billfold, his spare billfold, stashed in his suitcase, was considerably thick with money, somewhere between $40 and $50, and some uncashed checks. He could go ahead and stay in a decent room for a change. And now here he was riding in a brand new Chrysler, with a man who looked like he knew how to do things out in the world. "This smells like a new car, too," said Henry. "It's pretty new." Henry noticed the ivory-looking knob on the end of the gear shift. He couldn't quite see the top speed on the speedometer. 6 or 8? He asked. 8. 135 horsepower. That's pretty good. So, do you sell cars? Yeah. Clearwater, with his lips closed, passed his tongue over his front teeth. "I do that." Henry figured he'd be quiet, give Mr. Clearwater a chance to kind of talk or not talk. He didn't want to chit-chat himself into getting dropped off somewhere. "Where are you from?" asked Clearwater. "Simmons, North Carolina. Down east." "Is that anywhere close to McNeil and Swan Island?" "About an hour or so. I went there a few times when I was growing up." "I know some people there. Mitchells." "I don't know any Mitchells down there. My uncle took us all there one time, me and my sister and aunt, to see this big dance hall that was one of the first places in North Carolina that used electricity fancy-like, that showed movies on a screen set up in the surf." "I heard about that." Clearwater's boss, Blinky, owned a warehouse in McNeil that held some stolen Army equipment. It was part of Blinky's Cover, a business called Johnson & Ball Construction and Industrial Machine Repair Company. The drive to Winston-Salem would take 3 or 4 hours. Clearwater began to feel Henry out, learned that he was raised by his aunt and uncle, that his daddy got killed right after Henry was born, hit by a piece of timber sticking out from the back of a moving truck, that he was a Christian, that he liked baseball, and had played on a church team coached by 2 men who worked at a funeral home and used baby caskets to hold the bases and other equipment. That he went to Bible selling school instead of business school, and was taught to sell Bibles by a man who walked back and forth in front of the class, chain-smoking cigarettes and coughing and telling funny stories. That he had an older sister named Caroline, and an uncle he liked to talk about, Uncle Jack, and a cousin, Carson. And though Henry didn't say it, Clearwater could sense he was a virgin because of how he'd talked around some stuff about women. That was good. It had helped them both stay out of